turning the tables.
Well. I am happy to be here. I have actually listened to one episode of this podcast before. I listened to Victoria Larson, and I was wondering when my episode was going to happen. And I just sat back and I waited until the tables turned, and I was finally asked to be here.
I love you, Wes. I know. I've been
Love you.
love you too. I've been wanting to have you on, but I know how busy you are. You know.
I'm pretty slammed, yeah.
Yeah, good for you. I love that.
Thank you.
I know you. I saw you were on Worst Cooks, and now the Traitors. Like amazing. You know, you go.
The thing that's ironic about TV stars is actually you're most busy when like when I'm like not on social media, not doing stuff. So technically, the fact that there's like kind of 3 shows airing right now means that I've already done all that stuff.
I know. That's so. Wait, 3 of them. So what's the third one?
Well, I mean, my business show just dropped, and so that and it's a smaller thing, but
What's it called?
It's called The Blocks.
Okay, we have to look out for that. And where can people find it?
It depends on what season. Some of them are on Amazon. Some of them are go straight to the internet. But yeah, if you search for The Blocks, it's readily available.
Okay. Oh my, so exciting! And how's the fam?
Fam is adorable.
How's Lucy?
Lucy is an adorable little 16-month-old, and she is incredibly spoiled already, and she can't even talk yet.
Oh, are you gonna have any more?
We are discussing it. It's on the table, but this first one, love her to death. She's a handful. Like she is. She
kids
knows
are a
what she
handful.
wants.
Yeah,
She knows what she wants.
And you know what? You could wait. I mean, I didn't have my second till until she was. I got pregnant when she was 3 years old.
Yeah.
So they're exactly 3 years and 9 months apart.
Yeah, that feels like a good age difference.
It is, just because like I feel like 2 years is too quick. And I felt, I mean, even 3 years apart is not bad because, you want to enjoy your first one. You don't want to, I don't know. I like people that have them back to back. I'm like, you're crazy, because it's a lot of work. And my second and third were 16 months apart, but not by my choice,
Okay.
Yeah, not by my choice. And so it was a lot of work,
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's no doubt about that, but worth it. Like when she holds my hand and I walk her places now, and it's just so I'm in love. Like I don't know what else to say.
You know what? Girls love their daddies. Like
Yeah.
no matter how much the moms do, they always love their daddies. Yeah, like my daughters like love their dad. I'm like, really? I did everything, But
I
yeah.
know, yeah. There's no doubt that like my wife was like the main character for quite a while, just because she produced the main things that she cared about. But now I am quick. I think we're like almost tied now, and but at the rate we're going, it's going to really, really piss off my wife when she sees.
It will.
I'm going to be the winner.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, and she'll always like be there. Like I feel like girls stay with their stay with their parents. Like boys usually kind of drift off and go with
Well, especially in those Italian families, they stick around for ages.
Yeah. How did you like House of Villains?
I liked it. I thought it was, obviously, like I didn't like the fact that I didn't win. I think
I know.
I mean that really and what makes me saying that more confusing is like it has nothing to do with the money, and the money's great. Anyone would love a $200,000 direct deposit to their bank, but I'm a competitive person, and I was so close and put in all the work, and to not get it kind of stinks. And that was the kind of like the extent of my experience. It was like, oh shucks, like I didn't win, not that big of a deal. And then fast forward, I don't know, 6 to 9 months until the finale aired. And again, it's not like we were there; we knew it happened.
Yeah.
And basically, I that moment went pretty viral, and anybody that wanted to use it as an attack on me kind of tried to take it. And I had already like come to grips with the fact that like it was such like the internet is so sure that begging on a comedy game show is like the worst thing in the world. And I just would, my message to them is you all should beg for a job. Like go get a job. Maybe you all should be begging more often. To me, I'm kind of a real true alpha knows when to be a beta to stand a shot at winning and when to kind of back down. And it was unfortunate that the internet, and I quite frankly, I feel like the internet understands that, but they wanted to try and use it as a shot to like hurt my ego. And it's kind of like an impenetrable force that sits
Yes.
around my head.
Yeah, and I don't think that could happen to you.
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
And that's why you gotta ignore all that.
That is relatively easy in the sense of like, at the end of the day, we don't go on House of Villains for money, right? We go on House of Villains to try something new, to be
Right.
in front of new fan bases. And, in 10 years, when people look back on this season, there's going to be a couple of moments and I'm going to be a part of those moments. And ultimately that's our job as reality stars.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Someone asked you because I remember when you guys had your hands on Joel, wherever you on your penis, wherever you had your hand on. No, again, when you had your hand on his body, on the holding that butter, and
Mhm.
I know, like you would have won that if
Yeah.
if you really wanted it, but then you let Jesse win.
Well,
Like, what was your strategy behind that?
it was,
Or you think, or right, that you made him win, right?
it's kind of a little confusing to say. I didn't have the motivation to care that much because I was so sure that because he had swore on his daughter and all this kind of stuff and on his family, and I was going to take him like so. It's like so I was going to abide by mine because obviously he got 0 votes. Me taking him would have been genius, obviously. So
Right.
it was an easier promise for me to make than for him because no one was going to vote for him. So of course I'm going to promise to take you with me in all of the positions. I was so comfortable and he was shaking like a leaf. And then we got put in this one last position where you had to put the sole of your foot on the thing, which not only it was acknowledgeably the hardest position, but I was wearing CrossFit shoes with no
Oh
traction.
yeah.
They're
So
flat.
right. It was your foot, not your hand, right? It was
My
your foot.
foot, yeah. So
Oh, right. Okay.
and so and so at first it was kind of fine, but then it slipped is what it boiled down to. And so like in hindsight, I wish I had not been wearing any shoes at all, or had taken the second to take them off. But yeah, I was in.
Oh yeah, because
But
you're right. If rubber and this slot. Oh my god! The other day we got snow here, and I went outside with Uggs. I slipped twice on my ass because I was
I
bringing the
wish we had that
garbage.
filmed.
I know. I know. I told my husband, I'm like, if you look at the cameras, you'll see me going down on my ass twice.
We should get those clips and put them on the internet.
Yeah.
That would be
Wait.
great.
I know. Has becoming a dad changed your life?
Um, I mean, in some ways, not at all, because I do a lot of the same stuff. But there's just now there's one more reason to do everything and to do everything well, and that's not just like a reason that's on the list. It's now at the top of the list, and so every other motivation of why I do everything kind of slips down a notch. And I do want to say, like, it is also my marriage is very healthy. My wife is great, but this was something I did not expect. It's even better now because watching my wife be such a good mom, because
Yeah.
before she was a mom, quite frankly, I didn't voice this opinion, but I didn't think she was going to be a good mom. I was like, I'm going to have to do everything because I cook, I clean, I organize. My wife is really clumsy. She cares a lot about yoga and brunch and all these like basic things. And
I
so
love it.
yeah, I mean, she's fun to hang out with. She's a lot of fun to hang out with. But I was like, oh my god, when is she going to have time or care to be a mom? And then as soon as she became a mom, it just clicked. And
It does. Yeah.
watching her do that, it made me fall in love with her all over again. So
Aw.
I've got, and if you include my girl dog, I've got 3 beautiful women in my life and in my home, and I'm a happy guy right now.
I love that. Yeah, and you'll always be taken care of. Yeah.
Well, that's not how the dynamic with the 3 women in my house works. They don't take care of me at all, but I can sense their love as they're yelling at me.
You know what? I never like with my ex-husband, I used to do everything. And he really was not attentive to me at all. And I just did everything. It's just, my nature and like the way I grew up with, my parents being off the boat and I was first generation. Now with Louis, it's just so different. Like he always asks me, "Can I make you breakfast?" Like he makes me breakfast and like gets me coffee in the morning, brings it to me, and I'm like he spoils me, you know.
How about this? How about I take over with Louis for a week? You have Amanda for a week. We just, you need to be reminded what you're missing, and I need a week of help.
We should
Um,
do like wife swap.
Wife swap it,
Yeah.
no problem. I'll take Louis, no issue. For a week, he can come down here, and I'll send Amanda up to Jersey, and you guys would love it. You guys go out to brunch. Louis could cater to my every need, and we would all be happy.
I love that. Yeah, we got to do that. Oh my god! And I got so much shit when I got home, and I took a picture with Taylor Swift, right?
Yep.
And then I was telling her that anyway, Jennifer's like, I forgot somebody that asked me. They're like, "Well, when you went up to Taylor Swift, what did you say to her?" I don't know if I ever told you. I don't know because no, I
I
did.
think
Oh
that you
yeah,
told me that. Yeah, you asked if she knew me or something.
yeah. I said, is is your boyfriend's neighbor Wes? Oh my God, Jennifer on my show loves Taylor Swift. And
Mhm.
when I told her that I said that about you, that I said that I mentioned you and not Jennifer, she got so jealous. She's like, "You mentioned Wes instead of mentioning me. You didn't
It's
tell
a lot
Taylor's."
cooler to it's a lot cooler to say, "Hey, I know your neighbor," versus someone in my life is a big fan of yours.
Yeah.
And so sorry, Jennifer.
I know Jennifer's like, when she's like, tell Wes that I come first. And I know, but she's like, tell that Ginger that he's pretty hot. I was like, all right, I'll make sure I tell him that. So Jennifer Aiden said that about you.
Well, Jennifer has got some great taste. Let's
Yes.
just put it that way.
See
Yeah.
that? Yes, she does. But she's married, but she just that's good to get compliments, right? Yeah, and you're
Listen,
married, so I
I'm
like
just
that.
I'm a fine piece of art that's hanging on the wall.
I love that.
You can look, but just don't touch it.
Exactly. I love that. How was the Traitors experience different from the challenge?
In so many ways, it's not different at all. They're two of the best production companies on the planet, that are adhering to and producing two of the greatest games ever invented. And they both have voting. They both have kind of backstabbing. They both have alliances and this sort of thing. And so I was very, very, very familiar with the total environment. This was somewhere in the neighborhood of like my 21st full length competition reality show. And so I have been around the block, to say the least. But there are subtle differences between the two for sure. It's just there's just a lot of compliments that I can give to both, and they are very different from one another. When you're watching them, they don't feel the same. But quite frankly, while I was there was a lot of similarities. Like there was people that had never done something like that before that were, in over their heads, and I felt very comfortable there. But that said, like to answer your question, is a very good experience in Scotland.
It was good. You enjoyed
Very,
it.
very good.
Um,
It's hard. Like I want everyone that's watching this to know, like you should do it because it isn't. If you get asked, I mean, I know there's obviously a really good chance that you're going to be on, get a call one day if you haven't already. And what I would tell you and anybody is you should take it. It's a once in a lifetime experience. It's an incredibly fun game to play. You're going to be very proud of yourself for doing it, but it's a very hard, challenging experience. You're paranoid all day, and by all day I mean that literally. It is a very, very long, hard shoot schedule. And but none of us are afraid of any hard work. But I just want to throw that out there that
got it.
it's not. You're not going to leave the Highlands and say, "Man, that felt like a vacation." That's not how it's
Yeah,
going.
definitely not.
But you're going to leave and you're going to be like, "That was cool. I want to go back." Like
Yeah.
and the Housewives have been doing such a good job
Well, I
on.
was gonna say I broke your cherry with the housewives. That was your
You
first
did.
housewife that you met, right?
That actually helped me a lot, because I got put in after I got brought in and announced. I got put in a car with Dolores, Robin, and Bob Harper, And I just immediately said, I just got back from filming with Teresa. She loves me, and I just wanted to say, like, I am here to play with that. And then what happened was like a lot of the housewives are getting murdered.
I
And
know. I
and
heard.
I have a theory, and I don't remember if Bob the drag queen told me this, but part of this comes from my experience with Candy Muse, where I remember Candy saying, like, "Oh, the drag community loves
The housewives.
the housewives,
Yeah.
but how the drag community shows their affection is by getting rid of them. Like Candy wanted to get rid of you, and then so Bob is like saying, I love that. Bob the drag queen is saying, I
Yeah.
love the housewives, and so therefore I'm going to murder them all. And so that is what's unfortunately happening.
I know Bob Harper and obviously Dolores. I mean, but Bob Harper was at my wedding.
Yep, yep.
And
He told
and
me.
Chanel.
Yep, and
Ion.
Chanel is incredibly entertaining.
She
Not
is,
gonna
right?
like very, very, very entertaining. Bob Harper is not getting the airtime that he deserves, but he's like a leader in the group. Like I look up to Bob. I think he's really cool. We for whatever I'm actually kind of shocked he's not in the show as much as I thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
And Dolores is also a leader, but in a very different way. What it amounts to is I very much so liked, and I'm putting Bob Harper into this group. I liked the Housewives contingency that was there. They were very, very likable.
Um, Bob Harper, when I was away in camp, I would do all his yoga tapes.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
yeah, I every single day I told him like that's yeah, he inspired me. Like I would do all his tapes, his workout tapes. I got in the sickest shape, and when I got out, I became I got certified in yoga.
Nice.
But yeah, and then that's I called him when I got out, and then that's how we became friends, and we started talking a lot.
I
Yeah.
did
So
not hear that part of the story.
what does a normal day look like during production?
A day in the life
Okay.
is you see it. I mean, it's a well edited documentary of the game. We start early. They pull us aside for some of those interviews, and they're kind of random. Where almost everyone gets one every day,
And that's
and
what we
so
did on House of Villains too.
it's
They would
very
pull
similar.
us. Okay.
It's very similar. Where when they see like a tiny little break, they'll grab a couple people, and they'll basically ask them what's happening, so that way we can narrate what's going on in the show. There's 3 square meals a day. There's that game that we go play in the middle of the day, which is like, our we're like kind of collaborative, like you work as a team to try and accomplish something, which adds to your team bank accounts. And then it culminates with this round table, and then after the round table we are allowed to drink a little bit before we head up to bed.
Got it. Yeah. And then I heard like you can't even hang out afterwards, like with your teammates.
No,
Or not even
because
teammates with the cast members. You can't hang out. It's like you have to all be in like solitaire
yeah,
pretty much.
because they need to, and this is very smart and disciplined on their behalf. They need to make sure that we are not talking game, and we would, like, if we went into a room not filmed, we would talk game, and we would maybe be able to figure stuff out or come up with a plan. And they want to make sure that all of that stuff, they want us to do all that stuff. They just want us to do it all on camera. Like on House of Villains, quite frankly, there was some gaming that was taking place over the phone. We were texting stuff, and there was DMing that was happening, and eventually, like, we would go to bed and things are settling down, and then you'd still like go in and say goodnight to people, and you'd say a couple things that are game related, and it wouldn't make the show. Well, they don't want that type of thing to happen on Traitors.
I know. They're very, very strict about that. I know.
It's a lot more strict than House of Villains was. Yes,
I know. Did you talk to the psych while you were there?
on the Traitors,
Yeah.
everyone does.
I know. I heard that's really intense. Well,
I
you're so headstrong that you would not even need
No,
that, you know?
yeah, it's okay. So I want to be the first to acknowledge, like, I definitely have some mental health issues that have stemmed from the fact of what I do is so challenging, and I've done it for so long, and so I'm not. It would be completely irresponsible of me to say that I don't need that, or other people don't need that, because it's a it's a psychological, like, mess of a game that they're putting you in, and it's very, very challenging. It makes a lot of sense to have someone there that can ask the right questions, but for me, it's on this comparative to the challenge, it was a much easier experience. And so when it came time for the psychologist to ask how I was doing, it's kind of like, I'm fine.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, but I'm bored right now if you want to talk.
Yeah.
But everything is going great. Everyone's being really nice to me, and we're good. And Scotland, they were all complaining about the weather, but I felt at home. Like cold and rainy. I'm part Scottish, and also in Kansas City, it's like I'm looking out and there's like this much snow on the ground. Like I was used to cold and rainy.
Oh, I don't like cold and rainy.
Yeah, you wouldn't like that part, I don't
Yeah, I
think. But
wouldn't like it.
you just got to be prepared. You just need more layers. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
know. Yeah.
would you do it?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And then
You
I don't know. And then you don't have
wi-
you only get your phone like once a week, right?
Yeah, and that's almost worse than not getting it at all, quite frankly, because you'll start this really quick conversation, and you want to talk so much longer, and it will be taken away. A lot of those freedoms are gone. But let's put it this way: this is not the time or the place, but when you get the call, not if, but when you get the call me up and I'll walk you through the pros and cons.
Got
And
it.
I know that your fan base and I would love to see you on it, but yeah, I think that you would be pretty amazing on it.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. So obviously my podcast is called Turning the Tables. Can you let
Mhm.
me know something that you had to turn the tables in your life?
I would say that I'm in a miniature way turn the tables all the time because I like to tweak things and kind of improve things. But like one big one is like a lot of my colleagues when we got on TV, they looked at it as like a golden ticket, like you don't have to get a job, you're on this forever, all this kind of stuff. And I instead at that time really invested in a company that is now one of the largest business incubators on the planet, one of the fastest growing companies in my state, one of the fastest growing companies in the entire United States. So I'm crushing it now. It took almost a decade though for it to get that profitable.
Right.
And so all this time I was using my television
What's
career.
that company called?
It's called Beta Blocks, but we have a lot of the word blocks is in all of our products. It's all under one master kind of corporate umbrella. But it helps entrepreneurs get off the ground in various ways. So we've got one for military, we've got one for small business, we've got one for technology startups. We've got all sorts of things that are in there, just all sorts of things to help people get their companies off the grounds. But
Love that.
to me, it feels like I was turning the tables because a lot of my colleagues were like, no, 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 we're in between seasons, we can go on vacation. And it's like, no, I kind of want to use the in between season times to build something that is going to make it give me a lot more freedom in life at some point. And that's where I'm at right now. A lot of my buddies, quite frankly, are struggling to turn the tables because now they're my age and they don't have the skills or the other opportunities because our show pays well, not as well as like a Housewives does, but it pays well. But if it was and so I augmented it over the years, and now I have the ability to go on television if I want. I have the ability to be an entrepreneur if I want. I kind of have all these options, and I feel like that's my big story. There is that I turned the tables and it's making like not feeling entitled to and like I'd made it just because I was on a TV show.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Congratulations. And Lucy and your wife are very lucky to have you. No, very smart. Because you exactly, you can't be on TV forever. And or I mean, if you want to be, but then it's good that you have the option to be on or off, which is, you can make
Yeah.
your own schedule now.
Yeah, we
So
never, yeah, we never know when those calls are going to stop.
right,
Like,
exactly.
there is no doubt. Like, I am on the there's, I mean, who knows, right? Because shows are changing and whatever. But I'm like an average-looking guy from Kansas, and like, there's only so many shows. And now that I'm like old, like for
You're not
my
old.
level,
Yeah.
yeah, well, not all of us are as pretty as you, Teresa.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
your face card is just going to swipe you onto whatever TV show you want until you're fucking 90.
no.
I I'm almost they bring me in for my brain and to say a couple of sarcastic things and to kind of like mess up the show a little bit on purpose, and then I bounce like that's my job. But those calls could stop at any point, and
No,
so
you're right.
and at this point I do them because I thoroughly and actually do enjoy the games that I'm going into play. And so if I didn't, I wouldn't go. And so I'm just not doing it for any other reason.
Yeah, no, that's great. All right, let's a few fan questions. Lisa from Portland. She said, "Who was your favorite castmate to work with on the Traitors?"
There's a lot of really
I
likable
know who was
people.
your favorite on House of Villains.
Yeah, so we don't even have to
It was
ask
me.
that.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
yes. On Traitors, it was probably Derek from Big Brother. It was fun. I really liked Gabby. Gabby is from The
Yeah,
Bachelorette,
I did
and
Dancing with the Stars with her.
she's hilarious.
She was so good. Yeah, she was really good on Dance with the Stars.
Very, very likable. I have a lot of nice things to say about her, and I also very much enjoyed my time with Chanel. And quite frankly, I didn't get. I'd say I'm throwing Dolores in that mixture too.
All right, so we're gonna play a game. It's like I'm gonna throw out some business pitches, and you decide if Beta Box would invest, say, fund it or forget it.
Okay, so like a little Shark Tank.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, so
All right,
ready?
let's go. I'm
All
ready.
right, the
This is a good
first
one.
one is pajama parking. A valet server for your pajamas. Customers drop off their sleepwear and it returns freshly laundered and folded by bedtime.
Um, Fund it.
You you what?
No.
Yeah, no, forget. I know. Like I'm like, where does yeah, I would definitely not fund that. Yes. All right, next one. It's called the Pet Treadmill TV. A treadmill with an attached screen that plays squirrel or bird videos to keep pets entertained while exercising.
Why not? Fund it.
Yeah, right. Because everyone loves their pets.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll do one more. Emoji only dating, a dating app where you can only communicate with emojis until you meet in person.
Fund it.
Yes, we need more of that, right? I know because it's so hard to meet people, you know?
It's
So like
Yep.
we need more dating apps because it's like I know a lot of my girlfriends, it's like hard to meet. They want to find a great guy. They ask me all the time. I'm like, yeah, Wes is taken. You can't, you know. Yeah, you know, they want good guys and it's hard to find them.
I can imagine that.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
So
the good ones, the good one. The thing about it is like the true like those top one percenters are not on the dating apps. That's the problem because they
no.
don't need them. It's like a supply and
Oh, yeah, you're
demand.
right. But then there's some of them that are not confident. Like I know my one friend met a CEO online and they're
Yeah,
still together and they're doing really good because you have that too. Like they don't want to go out, so they take the easy way out and like not the easy way out, but it's go on a dating app.
I'm not sure. Like I never. I'm both glad and unhappy that I didn't get to use any of these because I met my wife after they had already. I met my wife and then they started to become all over the place. So I never used one. And
No, I never used one either. So
also like I'm always the most famous guy at the bar. I don't need. I just walk into the bar and I just just like just throw it out there.
yeah, you just get all the attention, especially with your
They
beard.
they just line up.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I just kind of go to the bar and I just look non-assuming and I just drink a little bit and I just wait.
Yeah, no, I love it. I know. See that? Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, and you're like, I was like, after I met you, I could totally see how you're so loved, you know? Thank you. Give my love to your wife and give your Lucy a big kiss for me.
Okay, I will do that.
Where can people find you and what do you have coming up?
I'm at Weston Bergman on all platforms. I've got my business show is on Amazon Prime. I've got Worst Cooks in America on HBO Max and the Food Network on Sundays. We've got Traitors on Peacock on Thursdays. My Real World season is on Netflix. So from a TV standpoint, you can get me all over the place there. And if you're starting a company, you need to go to my betablocks.com and see all the places that we can help you. But
Definitely.
otherwise, I was really just here to catch up with you. I consider this more of a phone call with a friend than
Thank you. Same here. All right. Don't forget to rate, review, and follow Turning the Tables wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week. Love, love, love you guys. Mwah.
bye.
Bye.
I'm turning the tables. I'm turning the tables. Let's go. I know you love my style. I'm gonna make them smile. I am the one to win. Keeping them all tuned in. I'm turning the tables. I'm turning the tables.